In China, gunpowder came into existence by Chinese alchemists in the mid-9th century in the Tang Dynasty. To start, sulfur and saltpeter were first combined with charcoal to create an explosive called huoyao or gunpowder. The Tang emperors would use the gunpowder to make the so-called magical fireworks display. By 904, the Chinese realized that gunpowder can be used as a powerful weapon that no one has ever seen before. At first, gunpowder was used to start fires. It was a component of flaming arrows and rockets and used to fire projectiles. The projectiles represented the first guns. Another way they used gunpowder as a weapon was that they used bamboo tubes to shoot cannons by lighting the other end with gunpowder. This is very similar to the way guns and cannons are used this very day. Many Chinese emperors wanted to keep their new weapon a secret, but eventually their secrets were released. This caused for many regions like the Islamic and Roman Empire and even people in Europe to start using gunpowder as their own weapons. Gunpowder was very important in the Spanish conquest of the Americas. Guns and cannons arrived in Europe in the 14th century. The Spanish were able to conquer the Aztecs with the gunpowder technology. The Spanish had these arquebus, an early form of the musket. The arquebus was very effective against an opponent as it would kill them in one shot. The muskets had a downside in that they were very heavy, slow to reload, and even firing was difficult in that they had to use a wick which had to be lit in order to fire. Ships also carried gunpowder and were used to attack ports and be used in naval battle. The Ottomans used gunpowder as defensive weapons. Most of the time, the Ottomans were often outnumbered, but they were still able to be victorious due to the use of gunpowder weaponry. Gunpowder also led to new weapons like the pistol, which used by the Ottomans during the 16th century. They were also able to make cannons, which led to the successful takeover of the city of Constantinople. The Ottomans were also able to defeat the Timurids and re-establish control of Turkey in 1414. The Ottomans had a very good navy and were able to take over cities in the Mediterranean.
Gunpowder was a huge influence in conquest because of countries like Spain and Portugal were able to easily and swiftly take out their opposition, especially because their opposition like India didn't have this kind of technology. But colonization and conquest were more greatly influenced by the fact that countries required resources because of industrialization. There was this loop of colonization and industrialization that existed with every industrialized nation. The Spanish used resources from other countries and colonies they had to fuel their machines, and then the cycle would continue again. Gunpowder spread from India to the Middle East between around 1240 and 1280. Gunpowder was introduced to these regions due to Mongol invasions. The invention of the first cannon was a result of the introduction of gunpowder to Egypt. These cannons were used at the battle between a military caste from Egypt and the Mongol invaders. During the Mongol invasion of Persia in the 13th century and the Mongol invasion of the Caucasus in 1239 and 1240, different Chinese military technologies such as the catapult that fired bombs using gunpowder were used as defensive strategies. Gunpowder also led to the invention of the first torpedo by a Syrian engineer in 1275.